We're gonna try this camera angle. Here are all my amps. Oh, you can see the little one, the Vox, and my Marshall. Anyways, for this video, I want to talk about AI and what that actually means. AI has been in the development for what, 4 or 5 years now. I started with ChatGPT, and of course it goes on to Claude, Anthropic. Then you get other models. DeepSeek came on the scene a year or so ago, and that kind of blew open a lot of different things, a lot of security issues that way. But I've been playing around with AI quite a lot and doing a lot of research into AI and using these tools on a consistent basis and pushing the limits on what these models can actually do. It was about 1 year ago where I started, the tool was called Replit. And what I wanted to do with it essentially was an app developer, an AI app development platform. And so that's what I did. I had an idea that I had for a number of years. It was a budgeting application called Simple Budget. And I tried previously to create this application and spend a couple $100 on the design, concept art and whatever for a mock-up. And I tried to code it myself, and I wasn't happy with it. Now, this was years ago. Then when Replit came on the scene, I was like, oh, let's try it again. So I tried it, and it got me about 70% of the way to completion, but the technology was not yet there. I couldn't figure out how to do the basic thing of budgeting for this application. And the tool just wasn't cooperating with me, and I tried all different sorts of things, and then I had to abandon the project yet again. That was until 3 months ago. I picked up Codex. Now Codex is part of OpenAI, so ChatGPT, but on the coding side of things. It's called Codex. And I started playing around with it. And I thought, you know what? Let's try Simple Budget one more time. Let's see how far the technology has gotten. So I started, and I coded and coded and coded and vibe coded. And I didn't hit any limit. I was like, oh, this is interesting. So far, I can do the things that I want to do for this application. And I kept going and going and going. And then eventually, I got to the point where the app worked. Locally, of course. I still had to put it into production. But it worked locally. I'm just like, oh my goodness. This idea that I had for years, I can actually turn into something that is valuable to the world. So that's when I really took a deep dive into, okay, what can I actually get out of this thing? And how do I get this into production? And it took quite a bit of time because I wasn't that quite familiar with getting things into production at that time. So it took a bit of time, but after a few painstaking nights, I was able to do it. And now Simple Budget is actually in production. You can go to simplebudget.pro, P-R-O, and you can sign up with an account, and it's free for the first 30 days, and then after that it's $5 or $5 a month. Doing that project and continuing to do maintenance on that project and add features here and there. Very satisfying. And I can see where the industry of software development is going. It's going the way of the dodo bird. If I can vibe code, and it takes less than, 10 days for me to get from an idea, a concept, a well-fleshed out concept, mind you, that I fleshed out over a number of years, a concept all the way to production in 10 days without really honestly breaking a sweat, then what does that spell out for other software developers out there? Now, there's going to be a lot of arguments saying, yeah, AI is not where it should be. Yes, AI is producing slop code. It's not producing secure code. There's all sorts of things that are going wrong with adding AI code into production environments, yada, yada, yada. Now, that may be true for, let's say, SaaS applications that are already out there. I could see that. But if you're starting from a point of AI, from a complete idea, fleshing out that idea, and then using AI to generate that idea out, I don't see too many problems with that, honestly. Like, I would say that I'm a software developer, but going to a software development role in 2026, I have to say, like, the industry is, I think, slowly going to die. It's going to be more AI agents than anything else, and directing those AI agents to code for you. But I digress. Getting too far ahead of myself, I think. I've been using a lot of different AI tools. I've been using Claude as well. And I compared Codex and Claude, and I find that I like Claude slightly better than Codex. And I think that's to be expected because Claude is built for coders, for software development, for full stack development. Whereas Codex, I would say it's decent for mid-sized projects, not necessarily large-sized projects. So for example, I built 2 web extensions, browser extensions in Codex, and they work quite well. Whereas in Claude, I built more fully fledged applications. I built one called Life Planner, and it's in the Windows store, Microsoft store, for Windows 11, and it works. So I've been using AI, and the thing is, the more I use AI, the less I know about AI. Like, I've built over a dozen applications at this point, but just because I built the applications doesn't necessarily mean I'm better at building applications. I'm just better at using AI tools to build applications. Now, each iteration, each new project that I spin up, each new project that I have an idea for and want to produce out into the world, I add something to it, like, for example, adding a connection to MailChimp, for example, or adding different skill sets or skills to a project. That's something new and exciting, I guess, you can add to a certain project. And I think that's the best way to learn, is to just start doing things. And it's funny because for the first time, I can now take an idea and generate it into the world, and within a couple days, it being completed. All thanks to AI, mind you. So I think there is a good positive outcome for AI. It's just, we're going to have a really, really difficult time as a society figuring out how to move forward with it. If it is this powerful already, where I think the software development industry has hit its peak, that's only one industry. We're not talking about other industries. We're going to have a really hard time defining what work actually is. Now, don't get me wrong. I do firmly believe AI is going to disrupt every industry if it hasn't already. And yeah, there's going to be the whole blue collar versus white collar debate. And, you can't, an electrician is always going to have a job because an AI can't do it, or whatever those arguments are. Even an electrician's going to be using AI to augment their capabilities. The job's not necessarily going away, it's just going to be a different type of job, skewed differently. Like, for example, if you've been in IT for a decade, you've seen a lot of change in a short amount of time. If you've been in IT for 20 years, you've seen a significant amount of change. Your job changes, the technology changes, your role changes, but you're still in IT. I think we're going to see more of that in a shorter span of time than anything else. So I guess in summary, I've been using a lot of these AI tools, and I've done quite well with them. Spending the $120 a month or whatever it is for the first couple months anyways. Just to try them out, figure out what to do with them. And moving forward, I think it's definitely an exciting time for AI, but also people are quite concerned, and they should be concerned about AI taking their jobs. So we'll see what happens. But those are my thoughts. Catch y'all later.